The new tag I want to cover today is called the pre tag. It's for pre-formatted text. And originally it was made so that way you could include code on your web page without the web page trying to run the code. But we're going to do something else with it. We're going to do something like this. It's going to allow you to move text around so that you can form some kind of image. Here's another example, like where the text looks like a butterfly. So this is, in theory, pretty simple to use. All you need to do, oh, all you need to do is put your text in between these tags, the pre tag. So I have open pre, and then I'll come down and I'll close my pre tag. And I'm going to type in some text. This is the text. I look over here, no surprise, I see it. I'm going to switch to design view. All right, and let's say I want to add some lines over here and then come down, and I want to start it over here. So normally this would show up right as continued in the line. So this, oops, I'll put in some extra. This is more text. Okay, let's look over here. So if you have text within the pre tag, it allows you to keep this spacing. So I could continue on. I'm going to do some other, like, just kind of weird spacing things that I wouldn't normally be able to do if this was outside of the pre tag. So this is another line. Okay. And I'm going to put like some additional spaces here. Just move stuff over. So however I put it here in the code, it shows up like that over here, in theory. Now I'm going to show you some examples where it's pretty close, but you should expect to do some tweaking. And just to illustrate, if I took out the pre tag, this is the way that that text would look, right? Because the web page doesn't respect spacing. You could have these huge chunks of space and lines and all that sort of stuff, and as we know, if I didn't mark it up, nothing is going to apply, right? So I need to have it within these pre tags, so for this to be able to show up. Now back to the student example I was showing you. I'm going to right click and we view their source. Scroll down here to see this. And so you can see it looks a little bit different in the code. So here's the opening pre-tag and the closing pre-tag. And the words of the poem are taken and spaced out. And it does look a little bit different. So you have to kind of keep going back and forth to be able to to get it the way that you want. So it might look a little bit different in the code. You have to just keep viewing it on the web page and tweak it in the code to make it look like the image you want it to form on the web page. All right. Other than that, that's really all there is to the pre-tag. You can also check it out on the W3 School. So I'm here at the W3 School under HTML, and then I went to the reference, the tag reference, and I'm under pre. And so you could go and you could try this out and just make additional spaces here if you just want to see it on another format, and that you hit run, and then you can see how it works over here. All right, but that's really all there is to it. It's just a matter of kind of tweaking it and keep testing and check it out and see if it's looking the way you want in the browser. The other tag that I want to point out, I'm going to need an image, is the title tag. So I'm just going to throw an image onto my page. So I have an image on my page, and I'm going to make sure this is selected, which it is, and I'm going to go down into my properties inspector, which you might have floating around, and if you don't have it, go up to window and look for properties, and I have to make sure I'm selected on my image. You can see a field called title, and so I'm going to put in a description of this image, or at least a title of it. So this is like art, oh my, scope. Okay, and now you'll see in your tag over here in the image tag, so image source, It has the address that this image sits in a folder called images. And here's the name of the image, the file extension JPEG. I have the width of the image, the height of the image, and now it's added the title tag. So title equals, within quotes, whatever name I put there. So when I view this on a web page and I hover over it, I get a little text box that pops up and it gives me the name. All right, so that's going to be another requirement for your upcoming project here, that when I hover over any of the images, it should give me a descriptive name. So makes sense, this says Edgar Allan Poe, or something that just kind of describes the image. So this past student actually took parts of the poem and used that, embedded those as the title. Okay. So here, this one says sunset. So money, you know, not as imaginative, but that's the general idea. That's the way it works. Okay, so what I want you to do for your practice now is in Dreamweaver, I would like you to put a div with an ID on your page in between the body tags, and I want you to practice with the pre tag, open and close, and just put in some text and space it out, make just some kind of like design here. It doesn't have to be an image yet. And then go into your CSS and put that div to be in the center of the page and maybe a background color, and then show me what you have.